Hello everyone, I'm Nicole Spitler from All Designs Equine, and I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I want to give a shout out to Julie Hale, who I've never met, but who is a great supporter of mine. She lives in Ireland, and I know she got a Mini for Christmas. So I hope she's having a great deal of fun playing with her Mini. And we're going to be switching gears and going right from Christmas to Easter. Easter comes very early this year. So I thought that I would try to make a different and new kind of carrot wreath. So I haven't done this one before, so I'm going to be kind of muddling through it and hoping it looks good. And if it doesn't, I might fix it off camera and still present it anyway. So I have my carrot form, which I drew. Many of you know that I have a laser that I purchased about a year ago. And I draw all my own designs, or I can do designs for other people. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Also, while we're going through making this carrot wreath, I'm going to discuss how possibly, if you have your own designs that you would like, I do wholesale. I do like a minimum of 5 DIY blanks for a wholesale price. I can also help you design your own different cutouts that you would want. And I will even show a couple that I've done from just pictures that people have sent me. A lot of people like to do their own designs for like either awards or personal use, or even if you're interested in starting your own business. So right now with this carrot wreath, I'm going to start by gluing some different size styrofoam to the carrot cutout. And I'm going to be gluing wood flowers on it, but I don't want it to have the same height everywhere because it will look too flat. So I've been doing some research. Obviously, a lot of people know that I sell on Etsy. I'm a top 1% Etsy seller. And a lot of people are so interested in starting their own business, which is a wonderful experience. It's definitely difficult, and it definitely has its ups and downs, but it is also very rewarding. So a lot of people are always asking me how I started my business, and I've covered that in other videos. But if you're interested possibly in starting your own craft business and are interested in doing something similar to what I do, but you want to do your own niche, or I even have people buying my own cutouts to do their own business, believe it or not, and I do allow that since they are I don't really frown upon it because they're using my product and they're just putting their own spin on it. But I actually even have some that are competing right on Etsy with me, and that's fine because in the art world, competition is just the way it goes. If you're crafting or you're artistic, people are always trying to outdo each other, trying to one-up each other, and that's keeps things competitive and also actually makes you better. So I'm always trying to maybe get ideas, but I always try to make them better. But I've also created some things that are completely novel that people are always chasing me down and trying to come up with similar products, and that's fine because I always try to stay ahead of everybody anyway, so I actually don't get angry about that. A lot of people don't like having the competition, but the competition is good because it really does make you better. Okay, so I'm going to be taking the large, these are 3-inch solo wood flowers, and I'm going to be putting like a base down. And then I'm going to be filling in with some other different size flowers. So once again, that it's a little bit more interesting. So it does take a little bit of time just to glue everything down. But so I've been checking out some Etsy trends And some of the big trends are dinosaurs and dragons and some other, I mean, even aliens are a big thing right now. But the most important thing is, if you're interested in starting your own business, on Etsy or otherwise, or eBay or Amazon, it's pretty important that you find a niche, as we've talked about before, but also important to do something that you like and that you know about. So if you love sea creatures, then that would be a great business, because that's also a big niche that, even though it's competitive, there's a lot of room to put your own spin on things. So I'm just going to keep gluing this down. I'm going to hold it in, and then it's going to probably kind of come back up. Now for this carrot, I'm contemplating not actually painting the wood flowers orange. So for right now, I'm not going to do that. We're going to see how it looks, because my idea is to do like a floral top that is going to be having the color. Now, just because I think something's going to look good, believe me, it doesn't always. So, but like I said, I'm always trying to outdo myself, obviously outdo my competition, but always trying to think of something new and interesting. I have another carrot in the works, which maybe I'll do next week, which is going to be pretty cool, I hope. And that will also be offered as a kit for people to purchase to do themselves. So when I first started doing carrots, it was like a long time ago, like 9 years ago. I was making an Easter bunny wreath, and I decided I wanted it to hold this little mini carrot. So I made this little tiny carrot for the Easter bunny to hold. And then I thought, wow, this carrot is so cute. I wonder if anybody would like, would just like it as a door decoration, because also, being in the equestrian business, obviously, horses love carrots. So I thought, well, that's really not a stretch to try to do a carrot wreath. So that's how I started coming up with carrot wreaths. Now, there's so many people who have done them and done their own spin on it, and done different, kinds of things. And I don't even offer my original carrot wreath anymore, because I started doing them better. Hopefully, I think I did anyway. So, and then I started making better ones, and they got so popular. I mean, on Pinterest at one time, I had over 100,000 viewers monthly because of the carrot wreath. And believe it or not, the most viewers I get on Pinterest is about Easter time, even more than Christmas, because I try to keep doing new carrot wreaths. Now, 2 years ago, I started a wood carrot wreath, which I probably will link that as well and show a picture of that one. And that got to be very popular as well. And now I'm just trying to think of a couple different ones that are just different than anybody else is doing, and also trying to outdo myself. Now, this might not be outdoing it, but I'm going to try to do something different. So I'm going to just keep gluing the big 3-inch solo wood flowers down the carrot. This carrot is actually pretty big. It's like 22 inches long, and then when you put the top on top of it, it's like 28 inches. So it's quite large. And I might be offering a smaller version of this at a different price point, which is another good option for people. And another good trick if you're starting your own Etsy shop, I would suggest that you do have different price points, but that you have some very high price points that you might not even expect to sell that much of, and then some lower price points, and then your middle price point, which will be what you're actually trying to sell more of. Because if you have a very high price point, there will be people who will buy it. There will be people who will purchase at a very high price point. But a lot of people will try to always stay somewhere in the middle, and they'll also feel like they're getting a good deal because they're buying your medium priced option. And I do offer smaller versions of some of my horsehead wreaths at about half the price. That way, if people don't feel that they can or they want to spend quite that much money, they can also get a smaller version that looks the same, and that satisfies a lot of people too. So you have to be a little creative sometimes with things like that. But it is good to have different options where you're trying to actually sell your medium priced product. And for me, that's still a little bit of a higher price point, but I do try to use expensive I have employees that help me, and I have a laser, and I do have things that, and I use higher quality products. So, and I, like flowers and things like that. So, but I do try to offer some more expensive things that are a lot more labor intensive usually. So I'm not expecting to sell a lot of those either. Okay, so I'm gonna add like a couple smaller flowers down here because we want it to look like it's coming to a point. Okay, and this does take a lot of flowers, obviously, because it is quite large. It really is. And we will cover, as always, I will cover everything, make sure all the foam is covered, everything is covered up so you can't see what I'm doing. So now I'm going to take some smaller flowers and kind of fill in. And this also, once again, gives us some visual creativity. Having all the different size flowers and different shapes of flowers, which I'm going to be adding some things like this here too, will definitely be much more interesting. And we can fill in some of the holes and try to make everything a little more uniform. And you can see here, this huge thing is not going to work. So I'm just going to angle it. I'm going to kind of hold it in place. The glue that I use, which is a Gorilla Glue, is stronger, but it also doesn't adhere very quickly. So it's good because you can also pick it up and change it if you don't like it. So it's good and bad is that it takes forever to actually stick, but it's good because I can change it if I don't like something. Okay, now smush this in here. I'm just going to keep adding some different kinds of flowers, which I might go grab some more really quickly. Still have a little bit of a cold, so I have to keep clearing my throat, but it's definitely 1,000 times better than it was. All right, I'm gonna go grab a couple more flowers and I'll be right back. Okay, so I grabbed a few more, and like I said, I'm gonna think about trying to keep this natural, but if it doesn't look good, then I'm going to paint it orange. And even when I spray paint this orange, I always use different colors. I use different color orange. I even use pink. I try to do a lot of different colors so it looks more natural. if anybody has any questions or is interested in anything that they are thinking about for their own business, please drop it in the comments. I can also leave my email, and I will also link some of the custom options below, because like I said, I can do a lot of things, and I do, you know, I'm used to doing awards and doing special custom things for people, you know, between being an artist and having a laser. I do have a lot of different options, and people often send me things for me to customize or help customize. I even do logos, which we can maybe talk about in a future videos. People have literally hand-drawn things on a piece of paper, and I can create a logo from that. But that's the good thing about not only having your own business and having the ability to do your own things, is you can help other people do their own things as well. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. Like I said, if I want to go add back, you know, things later, I can do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is start adding the greenery out the top of it. So this is kind of what I had on hand, because I wasn't sure I was going to actually do this tonight. But we're going to, this is like some kind of fern. You can use lots of different kinds of greenery, and I like to use, as we all know, tons and tons of different kinds of greenery. So I have the this styrofoam, so I'm just going to push it into the styrofoam. So this piece of styrofoam acts as something to help give the carrot this rounded shape, but it also gives me a place to put the top of the carrot into the greenery. Okay, so I have this stuff. I mean, anything that kind of looks like a carrot top. Like I said, I use lots of different kinds of things, so it wouldn't just necessarily be this, but fern is really good. That's kind of like my favorite kind of carrot top to use. But we're going to add a lot of different flowers in the top, so this greenery is just going to be kind of a base, not necessarily the only thing we're going to be doing. I probably will add a bow, as I normally do, either a green bow or a rope bow or any kind of bow that you would like. Sometimes like a burlap bow looks kind of good with this stuff. So I'm going to dig around and see what I have available. But I tend to like to use different kinds of bows as well. So a lot of times I'll use 2 different kinds of bows, 2 different colored bows, 2 different bows with different texture. So I gotta have to think of what I even have here, because like I said, I'm just kind of doing this off the cusp. I don't 100% know how this is gonna turn out. If it doesn't turn out good, well, hey, that's okay, because you know, sometimes not everything looks good, and sometimes things that I love people don't buy, and sometimes the things that people, or things that I don't like that much, are super popular. So you don't really know. But I just figured I would try to do something different, and if it's, you know, doesn't turn out that great, well, this is the process that we go through. Believe me, I make so many different things, and a lot of them never end up in my shop because I'm like, don't really like it that much. And I kind of like to like the things that I'm doing. Okay, and I have some of this kind of like variegated boxwood from Hobby Lobby that I really love, because I love all the different colors, and it's very pretty. It's almost lacy looking. So I'm just gonna cut a few little pieces of this. I'm not gonna use a lot. I just want to give a different look with all this other greenery. We'll take a really tall piece, because obviously we want the back to be taller and then the sides to be shorter. I'll do one more piece. I'll probably do it. well. I think I glued this to my paper. I did. In here, do a few like even coming a little bit more forward. Some good drapey greenery would be really nice too. And mess around with that a little bit later. And I think I need another little small piece to go over on this side. And then we're going to start adding some flowers. This almost looks like a parsnip. Maybe it does have to be orange. We'll see. Or I can always offer it in different, you know, sometimes I offer things in different, that are similar, but I offer them different ways to see what people like. This might look better painted orange, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But okay, so I have a little bit of purple because purple just tends to be a very springy color and it just really goes with Easter really well. So I have this little, this is also from Hobby Lobby. It's a very spring forward and very, I like all the little tiny flowers, but then I'm going to add different size flowers. So this is going to be kind of the base. And shove that in here. So, if I don't like this, being this color, I will paint it and I will show it to you. I might even paint it anyway. You guys can tell me which one you like better. If you like the very stereotypical orange, or something a little bit different. Sometimes people like the classics, and that's fine. You know, it doesn't hurt to try different things, and hey, if it doesn't look good, then we can always tweak it a little bit. This has a big stick here, so we don't want that sticking out. Of this, these purpley flowers. I'm gonna kind of rip this apart. And cut these pieces and then we'll shove them in there. I'm probably going to be doing, like I said, maybe another carrot wreath, different kind. I have several different kinds of carrot wreaths. And I'm going to be developing another new one. And then I'm also probably going to do a bunny, a seahorse. I might do a flower, I'm not sure. I like to see what, you know, people will like. And then, of course, I'll do some equestrian since that's my main thing. But I do like to do other kinds of wreaths. My most popular wreaths are my equestrian wreaths, but I had a giant selling seahorse wreath and carrot wreaths. So even though I'm an equestrian designer mostly, I do other things. And I can make any kind of wreath, but since I love horses, I do stick to the equestrian theme often. But I like to do other things. And I might even do a mushroom wreath because mushrooms are very popular. That's another big niche-y thing on Etsy. You can always look up like top trends and things like that. You want competition, but you don't want a saturated market if you're trying to do your own, unless you think you can do it seriously better than everybody else. And even still, in a very saturated market, it's difficult. Okay, now we got to see the colors coming in. And then I do have this like another kind of a pink flower here that I think I'm gonna add. And when you put a bow here, it's going to really take that very, like this huge cutoff point, and it's gonna soften it. And people love bows. People love ribbons. It's another classic thing that people just always love. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem to get old. People always like the bows with things. I personally am not a big bow fan. Because everybody else is, I keep doing it. Okay. And then, like I said, I'm gonna just do some things here. I might tweak things off camera. So what we have here might not actually be exactly what I end up with. Now, I have some seeded eucalyptus, although I don't have much. So I will probably add in the final product more seeded eucalyptus because I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things. I use it all the time, hence I have none right now, except for this one little piece. But there we go on that. And I do have a little bit of this orangey, it's kind of like a peach orange blossom. And I think I'm going to stick this in the back. And then we'll see what it looks like. Like I said, I just dug this out from what I have and decided at the very last minute I was going to do my other carrot wreath, but I decided to try something different just for fun. Yeah, sometimes you gotta have fun. It's been a crazy Christmas season, going somewhere completely in a different area. Okay, so next, to be a little interesting and a little different, I got this grapevine, and I think I'm going to twine it around here. So I'm not sure how that's going to go right now, but I'm going to try it. So it might actually have to be stuck in here and then kind of wound around. Like I said, I don't know right now how it's going to work. My dogs are going crazy. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I have this grapevine and I'm going to try to, gonna glue this back in, twine it around here and see how it looks. So I did glue it in right here, and we're gonna see if this is gonna work. Just because I have an idea doesn't mean it's gonna work. Okay, but I kind of like the kind of craziness of it. Now what I'll probably do is staple it. Gotta find my stapler. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna try to staple it behind here and see how that works. Okay, I'll staple it here. And I am going to staple a loop back here to hang it, but we'll just pretend I did that. So I made a green bow and I have a rope bow. So I'm going to put them both in. And I like to do it kind of on the side usually. And then we'll do the rope bow underneath. And I do like the green because it really is springy. But it's a green burlap, and yeah, I'm gonna have to glue it in a little bit better, but you get the idea. And then we'll do the rope bow underneath like that. And then I'm gonna add a few more flowers and then call it a day. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna glue it in here. And I kind of like this, even though this is a very delicate flower. I think I'm gonna add it. This actually helps protect the wreath. So with my other wreath, I have a rope bow that I kind of put around the flowers, the wood flowers, because the wood flowers are slightly delicate, and this will keep it from getting bumped or anything happening. And then I think I'm actually going to add in the flowers some more wood flowers to kind of to tie in this with that. Although I do like the color with the, you know, the rusticness. So it's kind of like a little different. And hopefully it doesn't look like a parsnip instead of a carrot. But the other option, again, is I could paint it orange. But I just wanted to try something different, and we'll see. All right, well, until next time, and we'll try to do another. Here's another piece that we could also add. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet or not. But until next time, I'm going to try to do probably another carrot wreath, or maybe a bunny, or maybe a seahorse. I'm not sure. But if anybody wants to contact me at all for any custom work, I will link that below. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments, and I will try to answer either this time or just answer you underneath your comment. All right, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And until next time, have a wonderful week. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I've decided to also paint it orange. And then it would be great if you guys could let me know which one you like better. You can let me know in the comments if you like it natural or orange. All right, I'll see you next week. Thank you.